Hey YouTubers! Today I'm going to talk about JavaScript and music, two of my favorite passions. First question you might ask is why are you watching this video? For me, what I did was I have a passion for both of these, so if you like coding and you like music or math, these go really great together. So I'm going to talk to you in this video about how those two, you can fit those together in creating a project. First of all, let's talk about a few reasons why I chose JavaScript and this project I found on GitHub called Scribbletune. So JavaScript is one of the easiest languages to learn. It's the most common in our web development today. And apply it to my learning of music. So we're actually going to create music with this application called Scribbletune. And then we're going to put it into a digital audio workstation like GarageBand. And you could do any other ones that you like. So what I did was I was just searching around on YouTube and I ran across a gentleman named Walmick, and I'll put his name in the description, and he created a project on GitHub. You can find it called Scribbletune. And there's also a YouTube video of his meetup talk that he did. I'll link that in the description as well. So all this project goes credit to him. I'm just going to share with how I used it, and maybe you can build on the project, and you could also fork it and do some of your own, and maybe even create a pull request too if you have any changes you'd like to submit. It is open. Well, Scribbletune, it takes JavaScript and automates the process of creating music. So for example, you can take a drum, a kick beat, a snare, a hi-hat, and you can create sounds with it. So if you think about music, it can be repetitive. Some of it, like drums, it repeats, and you create your bass line until you get to a melody, which might change, and that's more creative part. But you can automate that with the program. So that's what Scribbletunes does. Is it basically has this pattern where it's X dash, that would be node on, node off, node on. And if you're familiar, I won't go in too depth with music theory, but if you have 4 beats in a bar, that means it'd be note, note, and then rest. Note, rest, note, rest. And then you can repeat that, and there you go, and there you have maybe a kick. So what it does is it creates those sounds, it exports it as a Midi file. You take the Midi file and you import it into your digital audio workstation or GarageBand. One other thing to mention is it uses nodejs. So if you're not familiar with nodejs, you have JavaScript, which is primarily a web browser, but Node allows you to run anything on the server side. So what I'm going to show you today is through Node, and there are a few prerequisites you'll have to know to get started. So the steps are, we're going to write some code for different instruments. Then we're going to run that script, that JavaScript on Node. It's going to export a Midi file. We're going to take the Midi file, put it in our workstation, and hopefully compose a song together. Before we get started, I want to show you some of the prerequisites to get started with Scribbletune. It requires Node.js. So what you can do is download that from nodejs.org, or if you're on Linux, you can just sudo apt-get install nodejs. Then you'll need npm or node package manager. You install that, and then nvm node version management. So get those to get Node installed and set up. After that, you'll install the repo Scribbletune with node package manager. The rest of it says on the README that it has all the dependent libraries, but I found some errors, so it leads you to some of the libraries that you install, so I've included those here. So there's about 4 of them that you can install in addition. And then lastly, clone the repo to your working directory. I'll be showing you Linux here, so you'll need git to grab the repo and then clone. Here's the address of the repo. So I'll add these in the description, or you can copy and paste into your Linux instance. We are on our Linux server. It's a Google Linux instance I created virtual, and I copied and cloned down the repo here to the root of the drive. And let me back up a level here so you can see it. So this is what you're going to get when you clone the repo. And then if you go inside examples, here's some example scripts that have already been created. I've created a couple as well. What happens is when you run this, you'll run node and then the script name, and then it'll create this music.midi file, and then you'll take that MIDI file and import it to your workstation. Let's walk through some of these and I'll show you what they look like, so you can see what you need to program. So it's basic for this, all the same as a constant variable here, Scribble, and then it requires a Scribbletune library to run that, which is, I put in upper directory in the source. The one they give you says Scribbletune. And then here we're going to create a clip, and then we're going to go down and there's a couple arrays. So the first array is notes. So here is a scale. So they already give you what the notes are in a scale. You just need to tell Scribbletune what scale you're doing. In this case, so if you're familiar with music theory, C4 major is the scale, and then a pattern is repeat. At the end of these scripts, I'll show you what some of the documentation and the functions are, so hold on for that. But essentially the X is a node on, and then if you have a hyphen, that means node off, or think of it as a beat and a rest. So node on, node off, and then you repeat it 8 times for a total of 2 bars. And the last here line, this is what exports it into a MIDI file. Let's look at some of the other ones here so you can get an idea of the difference. Okay, this one is similar. However, the difference here is note C4. C4, if you're familiar with the piano, is the middle C, and if in this case a kick is only 1 note, so you really don't, it doesn't matter which one you choose, but C4 is the standard one. And then what we're going to do is change the pattern where it's the first note beat on and the rest are rests. Okay, let's look at a couple more. Here's the similar one as well, except we have a different pattern. And again, I'll show you the documentation for the different functions here. Let's look at a chord. Okay, this one, same syntax, except for now what you'll do is the notes, and this you can do manually. I'll show you how you can do it with just a Scribbletune. But here you have F sharp minor, C sharp minor, D major, B minor, all the notes that are in this scale, or chord, sorry. I won't go through many more examples of scripts, but if you're interested in creating your own, go on over to scribbletune.com/documentation here and look at all the extra features and functions that you can do. For example, it's got notes, patterns, accent, maps, shuffle, sizzle, arpeggiate. Those are different functions that you can add to better increase the functionality of what you can automate before you import into your workstation. So now let's go ahead and go over into our GarageBand. I'll show you how to import. Step now, we're going to import the MIDI files into our GarageBand. All you need to do is take the MIDI files that were created by the scripts and drag and drop them into your workstation. And there you have it. Then inside your workstation, you can do a lot of different things. You can copy and repeat that here. You can go over here and change your instrument, and that'll change your sound. And what I've done here is I've taken the different MIDI instruments here and showed them to you. So let's take a look at one of them here. So for example, the scale. And there it is. And then here is a different one. You can play just this instrument. You can turn on other ones. Or you can put them all together and to create your track. So just have fun with it. The idea is just to create some fun music with some automated scripts, put them together, and next thing you know, you can be a music producer. I hope you have fun with this. I hope you enjoyed our topic today. If you'd like to see more of these videos, be sure to comment and subscribe to get notified of future videos. Or go to our website, knowledgemavens.org, and subscribe to our mailing list. That way you can get notified of topics, invites, videos, codes, slides, and much more every single week. Until next time, cheers.